Imagine a world at war. Cannons thunder across Europe. Empires fall. Borders shift like sand in the wind. And at the center of it all, one man, Napoleon Bonaparte. Today, we dive into one of the most dramatic and consequential conflicts in world history, the Napoleonic Wars. Chapter 1. The Road to War. The Napoleonic Wars didn't come out of nowhere. In fact, they were a continuation of the chaos unleashed by the French Revolution in 1789. That revolution overthrew the monarchy, guillotined a king, and plunged France into war with the rest of Europe. Then came Napoleon Bonaparte, a brilliant Corsican artillery officer turned general. By 1799, he overthrew the French government in a coup and named himself First Consul, and later Emperor of the French. Europe's monarchies saw Napoleon as a threat to the old order. France, meanwhile, saw itself as the bearer of revolutionary ideals and protector of its newly conquered territories. The stage was set for war. Chapter 2. War breaks out. In 1803, Britain declared war on France, fearing Napoleon's expansion. The Third Coalition soon formed as Britain, Austria, Russia, and Sweden united against Napoleon. Napoleon struck first. In 1805, he crushed the Austrians at Ulm and then delivered one of the most legendary victories in history, Austerlitz. At Austerlitz, Napoleon outmaneuvered a larger Austro-Russian force, shattering the Third Coalition. Austria was humiliated. Russia retreated. Europe stood in awe. Chapter 3. The Empire expands. Napoleon redrew the map of Europe. He dissolved the Holy Roman Empire and created new client states like the Confederation of the Rhine and the Kingdom of Italy. But new enemies formed. In 1806, the Fourth Coalition, Prussia, Russia, Saxony, Sweden, and Britain, challenged Napoleon. His answer? Another series of lightning victories, including the devastating Battle of Jena-Auerstedt. After defeating Prussia and fighting Russia to a standstill at Friedland, Napoleon signed the Treaty of Tilsit in 1807. He met with Tsar Alexander I on a raft in the middle of a river and carved up Europe like a cake. Chapter 4. The Peninsular War. But Napoleon's grip on Europe wasn't unbreakable. In Spain, he made a fatal mistake, replacing the Spanish king with his own brother, Joseph Bonaparte. The Spanish people rebelled, launching a brutal guerrilla war. Britain, under Sir Arthur Wellesley, later the Duke of Wellington, landed troops to support the Spanish. This became the Peninsular War, and it bled French manpower dry for years. It showed that Napoleon could be resisted, and even defeated. Chapter 5. The Russian Campaign. By 1812, Napoleon ruled most of Europe, but his alliance with Russia had crumbled. Determined to punish Tsar Alexander I, Napoleon launched his most ambitious campaign, the invasion of Russia. Over 600,000 soldiers, the Grande Armée, marched east. But Russia used scorched earth tactics and refused to fight. When the French reached Moscow, it was empty and burning. With winter approaching and no supplies, Napoleon had to retreat. Only around 100,000 men made it back. It was a disaster and a turning point. Chapter 6. The Fall of Napoleon. Sensing weakness, Europe struck back. The Sixth Coalition, Austria, Prussia, Russia, Britain, Sweden, and others, united against Napoleon. In 1813, at the Battle of Leipzig, also called the Battle of the Nations, Napoleon was decisively defeated. By 1814, Allied armies marched into Paris. Napoleon abdicated and was exiled to the island of Elba. Chapter 7. The 100 Days and Waterloo. But Napoleon wasn't finished. In 1815, he escaped from Elba, landed in France, and rallied an army. This was the start of the 100 Days. His enemies mobilized again. On June 18, 1815, near a small Belgian village called Waterloo, Napoleon met his final defeat. He was exiled again, this time to the remote island of St. Helena, where he would die in 1821. Epilogue. The aftermath. The Napoleonic Wars reshaped Europe. Over 3.5 million people died. The Congress of Vienna redrew borders and tried to restore the old order. But the seeds of nationalism, revolution, and empire had already been sown. Napoleon's legacy? Genius general, tyrant to some, hero to others. He changed the world and proved that one man could shake empires. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, give us a like, subscribe for more epic battles and wild stories, and let us know in the comments. What would you have done if you were in Napoleon's boots?